Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video, we are going to talk about the sequel series to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX was the second series in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise. The GX in the name stands for Generation Next. We'll get into the history about this show a little later, but before we get any further, make sure to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit that bell notification icon so you never miss another update. Without further ado, let's get it. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX first aired on TV Tokyo on October 6, 2004, just 1 week after Yu-Gi-Oh! Ended. This show eventually ran until March 26, 2008. In North America, 4Kids Entertainment licensed the show to air on 4Kids TV on October 10, 2005. Unlike its predecessor, GX was not based on any manga, having a completely original story created by Nihon Ad Systems. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX anime lasted 100 episodes in Japan, while only lasting the first 155 episodes in America. The anime's complete run consisting of 4 sagas. So, let's get into the story. Number 1. The 7-Star Saga. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX begins 10 years after the events of Yu-Gi-Oh!, with a new protagonist, Jaden Yuki, obtaining the card Wing Kuribo from Yugimoto on his way to take his entrance exam to Duel Academy. Jaden arrives late but is permitted to take the exam. He specializes in a deck known as the Elemental Heroes, which focuses on combining his lower level heroes with polymerization to fusion summon elemental heroes with insane effects such as Elemental Hero Flame Wingman, using this strategy to defeat his examiner, Dr. Crowler, in his dueling exam. But due to his poor written exam score, he is placed in the Slifer Red Dormitory, the lowest of the 3 dorms based on the Egyptian gods. 7 duelists named the Shadow Riders set a goal on unlocking the Sacred Beast cards, reimaginings of the original Egyptian god cards, and using their powers to destroy the world. As a result, Jaden, along with his friends Chaz, Alexis, Bastion, Crowler, Banner, and Zane, are chosen to guard 7 keys specifically made for unlocking the Sacred Beasts from their prison. Jaden is forced into fighting the first Shadow Rider. If he doesn't step his game up, his friends will fall into a pit of lava. If he loses, his soul gets trapped in the cards. After Jaden wins, the Shadow Rider's mask falls off, and they find out it is Alexis' long-lost brother, Atticus. One by one, many of the duelists lose their keys, and Professor Banner is revealed to be a Shadow Rider, betraying Jaden. Eventually, all 7 keys fall into the hands of the Superintendent of Duel Academy, Kagemaru, and Jaden has to duel him and the Sacred Beast. While Kagemaru is about to defeat Jaden, Jaden activates Miracle Fusion to remove from play his elemental heroes off the field and in his graveyard, to fusion summon Elemental Hero Electrum, and multiplies his power using the effect of the Philosopher's Stone. Jaden then destroys Kagemaru's Sacred Beast Raviel and wins the duel, saving the world in the process. Number 2. The Society of Light Saga. The following year, Jaden Yuki's sophomore season at Duel Academy begins, with Jaden meeting 2 new students named Tyranno Hasselberry and Aster Phoenix. Aster challenges Jaden to a duel and loses. It is revealed to Jaden that Aster is actually one of the top pro duelists in the world. Aster used a fake deck and was ordered to challenge Jaden by his manager, Sartorius. Jaden then sees Aster defeat Zane Truesdale, a former student and champion of Duel Academy. Jaden and Aster have a rematch, and Aster surprises him with his real deck, consisting of alternate versions of the elemental hero monsters Jaden uses, as well as a new type of card called Destiny Heroes. Jaden loses the match and the ability to see his cards. While trying to leave Duel Academy, Jaden gets transported to an alternate dimension called Neospace. There, he learns the true threat is the Light of Destruction and the Society of Light, who intends to brainwash all of the duelists. He obtains new cards known as Neospatians and Elemental Hero Neos, and duels Aster once again, resulting in his victory this time. Meanwhile, Jaden's friends Chaz, Alexis, Bastion, and the majority of Obelisk Blue and Raw Yellow join the Society of Light, revealed to be led by Aster's manager, Sartorius. Zane, however, manages to resist, instead becoming insane and obtains the Cyber Dark deck of the Underworld. Soon, the Gen X tournament begins, and Duel Academy, Zane, Sartorius, and Prince Ojin, the owner of the satellite called Sora, which the Society of Light plans to use to brainwash the world, all enter the tournament. Prince Ojin hands Sartorius the keys to Sora, giving him control of the satellite. Jalen duels many others in the Gen X tournament, managing to bring Chaz and Alexis back to their senses while Bastion quits the society. Aster betrays Sartorius and becomes Jaden's ally. During his duels, Aster encounters the D, the owner of a one-of-a-kind card called Destiny Hero Plasma. Aster discovers the D murdered his father when he was a child and stole Destiny Hero Plasma, all because he's possessed by the Light of Destruction. Out of anger, Aster duels the D, where he sees his father's spirit, who tells Aster that the Society of Light is possessing Sartorius as well. Aster defeats the D, and he then leaves to duel Sartorius. Sartorius eventually defeats Aster in a duel, but Jaden duels Sartorius. During the duel, Sartorius makes the Light possess Ojin and gives him the key and begins to fire the satellite, which will affect everyone in the world. Tyranno Hasselberry's spirit and Neos manage to destroy the satellite, while Jaden defeats Sartorius in a final duel, making the Light of Destruction leave his body for good. Number 3, the Dimension World Saga. Jaden and his crew are now upperclassmen, and in order to keep them at the top of their game, Chancellor Shepard invites a strict professor named Viper. Viper forces them to participate in a series of dangerous survival duels. Jaden and the other students have to face new risks and new monsters. Along with the new professor, 4 new students also join the academy. One of them is Jesse, who can also see dual spirits like Jaden. Viper makes Jesse duel Jaden, and he also orders Axel Brody to kidnap Jaden's friend Cyrus and force him into a duel. If Jaden doesn't win, Cyrus will be thrown off a cliff. Jaden duels Axel, while Jesse and Hasselberry make efforts to rescue Cyrus. Meanwhile, Axel starts to rethink his loyalty to Viper and decides to release Cyrus. Although Jaden wins, Axel is still trying to figure out what Viper is up to. Jaden, Axel, and the gang decide to investigate Viper's complex, and as they reach his hideout, they encounter Viper. Jaden duels with Viper and wins, but by this time, the entity Viper was helping had enough energy to transport Duel Academy to another dimension. It is a desert plain with 3 suns. This dimension also has resident dual monster spirits. These spirits are ruled by a corrupt dual monster called Ubel. Viper was collecting energy for a weird hand called the Biobands that drain energy from students. After many struggles, they return home. However, they later realize that Jesse is missing. Jaden decides to go back alone, but his friends join him. Jaden witnesses his friend's sacrifices and ends up falling into despair. He is then possessed by a merciless ruler named the Supreme King. Interestingly, Supreme King uses a dark version of Jaden's deck called the Evil Heroes. Jaden burns down several villages, enslaves civilians, and even executes people while possessed by the Supreme King. Axel dies while trying to destroy the Supreme King, and Jaden gets freed from his influence. It is revealed that Jaden is a reincarnation of the original Supreme King. Meanwhile, the gang also finds Jesse, who is currently under the control of Ubel. Jesse and Zane duel, in which Zane dies of a heart attack. After Zane dies, Jaden decides to confront Ubel and free Jesse from its influence. Jaden sacrifices the duel to save Jesse. At this point, Jaden and Jesse are injured. However, Jaden is challenged to another duel by Ubel. During this duel, Jaden resurrects the Supreme King and uses his power to save the world. Ubel, however, uses her power to transport Jaden to the past, where Jaden witnesses Ubel volunteering to be the guardian protector of the Supreme King. Jaden then realizes that Ubel had sworn to protect the Supreme King and was just trying to fulfill her promise this entire time. Jaden then decides to fuse himself with Ubel so she can finally be at peace and stop the mindless destruction. After this, everyone returns back to Duel Academy except Jaden, Zane, and Bastion. While back at Duel Academy, Cyrus sees a shooting star and wishes that Jaden would just come back. And finally, a meteorite crashes with Jaden inside of it. Number 4, the Darkness Saga. This is Jaden's final year at Duel Academy. He's much more powerful now, and a month has passed since he fused himself with Ubel. However, he's not a happy person anymore, and his love for dueling is completely gone. He prefers to stay away from his friends to avoid causing any trouble for them. Now, Jaden only duels for survival. However, he is confronted by Night Shroud. This spirit warns Jaden that he will engulf the entire world in darkness by feeding off the negative emotions of humans. Jaden challenges Night Shroud, however, he has to beat his minions first. After multiple duels, Jaden finally comes across Night Shroud and starts to duel him. Jaden successfully wins the duel and frees everyone from the darkness. During all of these events, he once again grows closer to his friends and regains his love of dueling. And on his last night at the academy, he decides to leave without saying goodbye. However, an adult Yugi Moto stops Jaden and transports him back in time. As he duels, Jaden reflects on his time spent at the academy. He also recalls the great friends he had made during his time, and by the end of his duel with Yugi, Jaden expressed his gratitude, and he finally reclaims his old happy-go-lucky personality, returning to the game of Duel Masters once again. And that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments down below. And while you're at it, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and slap the bell icon so you never miss another update. Until next time, peace.